or just the data laying around. Payroll services have payroll service firms have technology that can store that information electronically for long periods of time, as required by law, and have off-site backups. Outsourcing payroll can reduce embezzlement and fraud because, like I said, you write a check and all your employees got your banking information. Payroll providers provide detailed reports that allow you to quickly review each payroll before funds are transferred. And then lastly, and what I feel most importantly, is the peace of mind. You guys got 100 other things you got to worry about as a business owner. So the last thing you want to do is have the worry of payroll. So outsourcing payroll services can provide peace of mind, eliminates headaches, hassles, penalties, and phone conversations with the IRS. You can have confidence that you're in compliance with the IRS. Again, accurate and timely reporting, easy to understand data, long-term secure record keeping, access to the resources of a reliable and professional team trained specifically to understand payroll requirements. So I know that was a lot of information, but there's a lot to think about. I appreciate your time. I'll be here afterwards to answer any questions. I'd be happy to take any general questions right now. Since I'm here, I'll give a 10-second plug. This is my infomercial. Wells Fargo, has been in this business for a long time. We're headquartered right in Bloomington. We have about 30,000 clients nationwide. So, we have dedicated account managers that help you out. So whether you bank with us or not, we'd love to talk to you about it. So that's the end of my commercial. Now, any questions that we have to help?
Yeah, what's the typical cost per employee for payroll check processing?
It's a great question. It's based on two things in our world: how often you pay, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, monthly, and then how many employees. So, if you want to come back afterwards, that's one thing with Wells Fargo. We got to publish our prices. I'll show you exactly what you'd be looking at if you wanted to.
So like a bi-weekly, what would
Sure, you'd be looking at for just a couple employees. You'd be looking at about $50 a payroll to cover everything I just talked about.
For the year?
Per payroll.
Per payroll.
$50 per payroll.
Okay.
That's to cover everything, including us paying the taxes, doing all the tax returns, and taking all that liability off your hands. So, probably less than your cell phone. Yes, Pat.
Oh, okay. So if somebody uses Wells Fargo Business Payroll, I'd imagine it looks better than when you're applying for a loan at Wells Fargo.
Well, wow. So there's no credit or underwriting with our service.
Right.
So,
but it leads into the other services.
There are some, like for example, if you use payroll, you get your fees waived on your business checking accounts.
Okay.
For example, I'm not a great mind on the business banking side. I actually have a business banker with me. You know how the credit environment is, but that's
we had a little bit of dialogue earlier, and obviously we have many facets of Wells Fargo. We're a relationship bank, not a one-off bank. But, they do feed into each other. We do want to grow the relationship, but in terms of lending, an entirely different scenario. It's
the underwriting world. So I wish I could say if you used us, you're going to get a loan, but it's totally separate entities.
The key word is profitability in terms of business. I think we all know that.
Can you give an example of, I know the stories are out there, if someone doesn't do things right, but do you have a real-world example? You don't have to mention the company or anything, but of someone either who came to you and they had been burned and they needed help, or by the time he came across them, they were in deep trouble.
Sure. Well, probably just again to use Brian's example, just if you're doing it yourself and you don't know the tax laws, if you don't make those deposits with the IRS timely and accurately, you're going to get penalties. But I think when you're choosing someone to outsource to, you want to find a reputable company, and there's a lot of them out there. 15 years ago in this marketplace, there was a local company that was taking people's tax monies, going on vacation with that money, and the IRS notices went directly to the payroll company, not the business owners. So they had no idea they were getting penalties, right? It's just until it all snowballed out and the IRS showed up at the company's doors, and obviously that company's out of business, and all those companies had to pay the penalty and interest. So again, that's why I don't know if that's what you're looking for, Pat. I mean, it's just something you don't want to mess with. If nothing else, take away from today, don't ever get on the wrong side of the IRS.
I just know when I started my business,
Yeah.
I had my own business plan done, I had my own budget done, and I had a neighbor who was a CPA, and she said she'd look it over.
Yep.
And she goes, I don't see anything here for payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, I'm just going to just do it myself. She kicked me on the head.
That's what a good advisor or couple will do, because it's just not worth messing with.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you very much.
all right, good luck, everyone.